Hello everyone. Inspector General of Police Ovevekuve under fire for detaining minors, summons police officers, heads of investigation units over malnourishment of protesters. Really? I thought he said that the children were fainting, because it was orchestrated, and they were acting, that it was not real. She was, especially that lawyer, that their counsel that was running his mouth and saying all sorts of nonsense. That guy should need to be shamed to the highest order. He really needs to be shamed. Now all of a sudden, whatever. But anyway, let me read what Sahara Reporters has here. The kids who were granted bail on stringent terms by Justice Ovevekuve were 24. Still, about 20 of them had been hospitalized at an undisclosed hospital, sources had told Sahara Reporters on Friday night. The Inspector General of Police, Ovevekuve, has summoned some top senior officers, including all DC, CID, head of investigation units, over bad welfare and poor state of minors detained since August for participating in the end bad governance, protest. First of all, that IG of police should be sacking himself. If he even had self-respect for himself, he ought to resign over this. But of course, that is not there. His tenure had already passed. If we had a government, not this illegitimacy that we have, you understand, that we have on ground right now that Tinubu is presiding over. If we had what is called a real government, he won't have job today. He would have already been sacked. This is the same person that came out and was running his mouth and saying that, oh, those people, those children are these, it's orchestrated, it's all sorts of things, and whatever it is that is out there. Terrorists are killing them, bandits are killing them, are killing police men and women, unknown gunmen, kidnappers, criminals, what have you. But yet you never see the Nigerian police get infuriated when any of their persons is being killed by these criminals and terrorists and bandits, and what do you have? But when it comes to protest is when the Nigerian police has power. It will do show of force. It will arrest children. It will arrest people, incarcerate a lot of people, and do all sorts of things. It is when it comes to protest that they know how to do that. But when it comes to safeguarding lives and properties, when it comes to maintaining law and order, when it comes to doing the right thing, you never see them. Right now, police is there in Rivers State, tear gassing and doing all sorts of things, just because they are an instrument that is always being used by someone somewhere the way that they want it to be. Sahara Reporters had reported that following their rejection at Kuje prison, the malnourished minors were detained by the Nigeria Police Force (NPF) in a facility meant for adults at the Intelligence Response Team unit in the Apo area of the Federal Capital Territory. The kids, who were granted bail on stringent terms by Justice Ovevekuve, were 24. Still, about 20 of them had been hospitalized at an undisclosed hospital. Earlier on Monday, Bola Tinubu ordered the release of the underage children arraigned before an Abuja Federal High Court on Friday, November 1st, following the national and international outrage and condemnation. They don't do anything that they're supposed to do. They never do anything right. They wait for an outcry to come out, whether national or international, before they do something. And this is what I tell Nigerians all the time. Look, voices matter. Silence is what these people depend on. That's why they do things to make it like, oh, people are just making noise. Nothing will come out of it. Something will always come out of it, because the power of the people is more than that of the people in power. It's just that most like people self-defeat themselves and feel that, oh, they don't want to do it, or they are waiting for certain activists to do it for them. There is nothing like waiting for anybody. Every one of us, we have a right. We have an office, it's called the Office of the Citizen, where your voice can be heard. And when we loud the voice, everybody will be forced. So you don't have to be on the street. You can be in your place and shouting that thing. You can be writing about it. You can be talking about it. You can be doing a video about it. do whatever it is, ensure that a voice is heard on it. And that's what I always say to us. Nigeria does not need more activists. Nigeria needs more active citizens. Most citizens want to be passive and want just a few people to be speaking on their behalf. Few people won't work. All of us have to put our number. A critical number is needed to put our voice out there, and for these people to know that they cannot continue to do the nonsense that they think they are doing. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, announced the development to State House correspondent. That was the emergency meeting that they had, that they were going to release the children and all of that. First of all, that whole issue of release is to say that this tells you more than anything that we have a very captured judiciary. I remember when the children fainted and they said the judge had run out immediately. I'm like, why can't the judge dismiss this case and say to the police, get out of here, I don't want to see you here. Don't bring, in short, charge the police for contempt. Why are you bringing these children to my court to come and waste my time? But hey, our judges, the judiciary is captured, their hands are tied, they are enslaved. They are just rubbish, being treated rubbishly because they've refused to stand their ground and do the needful. Otherwise, they would have been the one to say this. And then, like asking some lawyers who argue, did Tinubu even have the right to even say that, oh, he was going to release them? When some people say, oh, pardon, you can't pardon people who haven't committed a crime. They've not committed any crime. What are you pardoning them for those who have said that? But the court has come out, you know, to throw away the case. I'm trying to remember the legal term that is used, but the court has come out to do all of that. But you see, the thing that even made me laugh the most, you could see how shameless this terrorist government of this terrorist and illegitimate government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is all about. Sahara reporters had also exclusively reported that Kashim Shettima, the running mate to Tinubu, is set to preside over an elaborate handover ceremony to transfer custody of malnourished minors to their respective state governors from the northern region. So they abducted the children. Now they've rescued the children from themselves, and they're doing ceremony to hand over the children to state government and then the parents of the children. Yeah, this thing, I'm not making it up. It happened. It's Nigeria. It's Bola Ahmed Tinubu and it's illegitimate, you know, presidency. A press statement issued by Nigerian Police Force Police Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi on Monday night claimed that the security operatives had begun investigation of the allegation of malnourishment of the detained minors. The statement continued, upon receiving the investigative report today in Glasgow, where the IGP is currently participating in the Interpol General Assembly, the IGP vowed to thoroughly examine it and take necessary actions to address any procedural lapses or concern. The IGP should be ashamed of himself, and I hope his colleagues shamed him there, called him out at what his people are doing here, the kind of inhumane treatment that they met out of citizens, most especially children. To further ensure professionalism in investigation with emphasis on child-friendly investigation and care, the IGP has summoned all DC, CID, and head of investigation units to a conference and workshop on November 7, 2024 at the Police Resource Center, Jabi. They've turned it to conference. The next thing that they'll pay themselves, they are going there to pay themselves. What's that thing that they do? Allowance, per diem, code, or whatever it is they call it, for them traveling. It's money they will use to carry them and come here and do this nonsense that they're doing over the whatever rubbish it is that they have out there. But the thing is that one day monkey go market, you know, go come back. This country, we work in our lifetime by the grace of God.